we technically met before we actually met.
I was definitely the first one to notice her. There was a spot in the Institute that I found that I really like to do my homework. And I started to notice this really cute girl that was always there in that area.
He saw me in the Institute like a year plus ago, but he was too nervous to ever talk to me. But then he started dating a girl that served in my mission.
As I started to notice her more often, I started to see her other places, and then randomly I was dating this other girl, and then randomly I see this Institute girl at my then girlfriend's mission reunion. And I'm like, what? And she's like everywhere.
And so he showed up at my mission reunion. And I was so mad because he was so tall and she was so short. And I was like, why is this tall guy dating this short girl? And then I thought he was really cute. I was like, no, he's pretty attractive.
Then I auditioned and made the Institute Singers Choir.
The first day of choir came around and I had the most distinct prompting that if I didn't talk to boys, or anyone really, I wouldn't make friends with boys or anyone. But I walked in the room and Hyrum was the first one that I saw.
Lo and behold, first day of class, in walks that Institute girl.
And so I just went up and I was like, hi, my name's Tiffany.
And first thing she does is she comes straight up to me and introduces herself.
And he was like, hi, my name's Hyrum. I think I know you.
And I totally panicked and I was like, hey, I think I know you. Not creepy at all.
I was like, how do you know me? He asked me about if I served in Taiwan, and I was like, oh no, did you serve in Taiwan? And he said no, that he just knew someone from there. And so I was like, oh, okay. But that was kind of the end of conversation. So I was like, tall, attractive guy.
Then we started to talk, and over the next couple of weeks, we hit it off, and I got her number, and then the week after that, we hung out every single day of the week, and then decided we wanted to try dating, and it was great. And the rest is history.
It was so cute. So he came over for conference weekend on Sunday. And so we, after conference, just decided to go on a walk together. We kind of walked up the road up by Providence Canyon.
We're on our walk and we went up to Providence, the mouth of Providence Canyon. And she was like, okay, we can turn back now.
And he was like, no, let's go sit over on that log. I was like, oh my goodness, he's gonna kiss me. I didn't even put chapstick on.
So we sat down and I was totally panicking in my head, like, shoot, I really want to kiss her. We're dating now, so it's cool.
But he sat me down, he like put his arm around me, and I started teasing him about the fact that it took him like 8 months to finally talk to me, but now he was dating me.
And so we sat down, and I remember we were just talking about different things, and she said that she was really impressed that I had remembered her after all of this time.
Just from this random Institute girl that he saw everywhere. And he just looked at me and he said,
told her, well, I remember the things that are most important to me.
And then he leaned in and kissed me.
And I leaned in and kissed her, and I knew it was good because right after I pulled back, she had this huge grin on her face, and she said that was super cute. So that's how our first kiss went.
He is world #1, like, I don't want to say liar because then he feels bad, but like stretcher of the truth.
The proposal, I planned it out all in my head. I got her parents to come up with a bogus story about going to Lenone.
Oh, Tiffany, like our really rich friends gave us this gift card to Lenone. I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. She's like, we wanted to go Friday. Do you want to come? So I went up to Hyrum and asked him, I said, Hyrum, do you want to go to Lenone on Friday? And he was like, oh, but do you think we have time? I was like, of course we have time. It's Lenone. So then we were talking about how we should dress. And he said we should probably dress nicer because it's a nice restaurant. And that he wanted to come and pick me up. I was like, well, why don't you just come hang out with me and then we'll go. He's like, no, I want to make it special.
I even faked losing my phone so that we would go back to my apartment so we could take a certain route to Lenone, even though we didn't end up going there.
Little did I know he didn't forget his phone. We just had to go that way so that we could come around the temple bench area that kind of looks over the whole valley.
And so I pointed over to the setup I had as we were driving by with Tiffany, and I said, hey, like, let's go check that out.
And so as we're approaching the temple, he's like, oh, isn't there like a grassy area over there? Like, look at that stuff over there. We should go check it out. I was like, I kind of see like a few little lights. I was like, okay, sure.
And so pulled over to the side and we started walking over and we had this cute song playing.
So we walked out and I hear the song playing that he told me he was gonna play to the girl that he wanted to marry. And we walked over and I saw that it was pictures of us and he had a candle made out of hearts on the ground and rose petals.
We were holding hands, walking up, and as she saw the pictures of us that I had set up there, she just turned and looked at me and just yelled at my face like, "Shut up!" Threw my hand.
And I just grabbed his hand and I said, "Shut up! You did not!" And I threw it at him. And then he turned to the valley and he said, "I thought this would be a good place because..."
Looking over where she grew up and said, this is her past, and then turning to the temple, that's our future together. Getting married in the temple and having an eternal family. At that point, I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. And luckily she said yes. And so after that, I gave her a big hug, and as we kind of spun around while hugging, she saw all of her family there to congratulate her. And it was a really awesome experience. Honestly, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is just to be her husband and have her be my wife, and just to be together, sealed, and to be, an eternal family.
So the thing that I'm looking forward to about being married the most is probably just having him there all the time. And just being able to wake up and see him there, and to come home from work and he's there. Because he's my best friend and I love him.